motion and movement is not the same as understanding. The fact that a robot is able to execute a perfect reflex doesn't mean they understand why. And I would say that not understanding why in a world as complex as the one we live in, that's not okay. So the question is, how do we teach a robot not only how to move, but how to understand? So let me go there next. We're not born, even though some of us may believe so, that we were born walking. We were not born knowing, how to kick a ball or grab a glass of milk without spilling it. We learn slowly through mistakes. But this process of trial and error didn't only build a skill for us, it created a physical model of the world in our head. Okay, we learned the concept of gravity because we fall and it hurts. So we don't want to do that again. We learned the concept of heat because we touched something hot and we got burned. And so, but obviously the way we learn, that doesn't work for robots. You can't just let them in the wild and say, okay, go ahead and learn, come back. Right? It will be not safe, probably reckless. So we have to take a different approach. Now, the one thing robots do very well, and I tell you, they see remarkably well. Let me use this example with my back here with a robot looking at the cough syrup. Probably looks and identifies the bottle, understands, that it's got liquid inside, probably reads the label. But does it understand what it's holding? Does it understand that the bottle is full? Does it understand if you tilt it a little too much, you are going to spill the liquid? If you don't understand inertia, it's really hard to estimate force. If you don't understand friction, you don't know how that syrup is going to pour. And without that understanding, the robot won't act in a safe manner. So you need a bridge between perception and understanding. Perception tells you what's in front of you. The understanding of the world tells you what is going to happen when you interact with that object in front of you. So we need a bridge. So the question here is, how do we teach robots physics? And so today, we do it ourselves. And I really mean it. Like individually, we do it ourselves. People teach the robots how to pick objects, how to move. They mimic, the robot adapts, learns. It works, but it has limitations. It's slow. It's very expensive. So this is where world models come in. The ability now to teach a robot to really estimate outcomes without going through the process of experiencing it. It's like you literally inject knowledge into the robot. Think about the Matrix, right? Inject knowledge into the robot. So you think about it. You inject knowledge, you inject experience without having to go through the physical act of acquiring that experience. And this is a fascinating field. World models are feeding VLAs. And VLAs, I'm getting really, really, really techy here. VLAs stands for Vision, Language, Action Models. It is the bridge between what the robot sees, what is told, and how it moves. This is the bridge between these three different layers. It creates the bridge that it needs to be able to see and perceive, to understand. And this is one of the most fascinating research areas right now in both academia and industry, VLAs. Now, VLAs are happening, and they're getting better and better and better. And so the question right now is, okay, so how do we take these VLAs that were created in the cloud with essentially unlimited resources, and you move into the edge, because the edge is a constrained environment. It's a constrained environment with power, with latency, with memory, with processing. You know, a VLA model in a research notebook, it's not very helpful for a robot in a warehouse. Right? So you need to bring those models into the real processors at the edge. And so our answer to that challenge, to that problem, is right here. Our toolkit, our EIQ toolkit. This is a software that allows to grab those models, imports them, quantize them, prune them, compile it. Essentially, you grab the model and you tune it for the target hardware and for the target use case. Our goal is to remove objections from a customer. All these things are complex. So as we look at the challenges, we want to make sure that we remove objections. We remove friction for anything that prevents physical AI from being deployed. Now, where are we? We talked about the neural axis as the architecture, and we talk about VLAs as the understanding, and all these two things come together and make the robot useful. But is that enough? Is useful enough? Because useful and trustworthy are not the same. And for physical AI to get really adopted in the market, trust needs to be solved. Now, trust for a human being, you earn it with time. You invest in your reputation and your rapport and your track record, months, years. You can't have a machine trying to develop rapport with an operator for a year. Okay, we don't have the time. So you can't design trust. You can't earn, the machine cannot earn trust. It has to be designed in from the beginning. The machine needs to be trustworthy from moment zero. So trust is important. Nobody likes to think that things are going to go wrong, but they go wrong. I mean, when I look at these pictures, and you could probably cringe when you look at them, I can't help myself to think about two laws. Murphy's Law and Finagle's Law. Murphy's Law, anything can go wrong, will go wrong. And anything can go wrong in Finagle's Law will go wrong at the wrong possible time. And that is the moment where trust gets defined. Trust doesn't get defined when everything is going great. Trust gets defined at the worst possible moment. So how we look at trust. Trust can actually be compromised through external issues, through external triggers, or through internal triggers. You know, external triggers could be changes in the environment. It could be malicious people trying to attack the system. Internally, you have design flaws, model limitations. Sometimes wear and tear kind of creates a different behavior in electronics. But these are important issues, because as physical AI gets deployed, more and more mission critical functions are going to rely on them. So dealing with this is massively important. Now, we at NXP don't come to physical AI from the cloud. We come from the edge. These are the things that we're already working on. This is part of what we do today. And now it's just, for us, it's more valuable. Some of the assets that we have in NXP to take care of trust are even more important with physical AI. So let me tell you how we, as a high level, discuss trust because we have a framework today that just right now is getting enhanced. And it's a very simple one at a high level. We contain. This means that we isolate the problem, we create redundancy, and we don't allow a single point of failure. We protect. We have hardware injected directly, we have security injected directly into the hardware. We protect execution of the code, we protect tampering, we protect credentials. And guess what? We're also post-quantum crypto ready. Because the threats today are not the same as the threats 5 years from now. So this future-proofs our devices. The next primitive is verify. You know, some of the certifications that we have on SIL and ASIL, this is not just paperwork. This is how trust gets measured. Our Safe Assure program allows a hospital or a car OEM to get the one thing that is really, really important for them. Assurances of how the device will behave when things don't go right. And obviously adapt. Nothing stays still in this market. Threats continue to evolve, environments continue to evolve. So we need to evolve. We need to have the mechanism to constantly update these devices. With these devices at the edge, stay at the edge for a decade. So you need to make sure that these devices are constantly integral, secure for years and years to come. We take trust very, very seriously at NXP. You know, mistakes and errors in the physical and at the edge, they're not digital, okay? You cannot do a software patch for a broken bone. You cannot do a system update to deal with a collision. And I know we cannot design systems where nothing goes wrong. I know that. But we can design systems where something goes wrong, still goes right. Trust, this is a core of our DNA. And the reason why is because we know this, because the real world has no undo button. Now we get to a part where I start kind of landing now what's happening with physical AI today. Because our job right now is not really to push physical AI before our customers are ready for it. Our job is to actually making sure that physical AI has a place to be. There's a reason why physical AI gets adopted. The title here is Earning the Right to be Useful. You know, I get a lot of questions right now from customers who are trying to adopt AI. And one of the questions I get often is, hey, Rafael, how smart can physical AI become? And I just ponder on that question because I don't think it's the right question. I think the right question is, where can physical AI be deployed today that it can be done in a safely secure manner where they create value? And I think the answer to that question is unraveling right now. Let me give you some examples. In factory automation, even today, in factories where physical AI-enabled robots are being deployed, already having 40% productivity enhancements over regular automation. I mean, regular automation is pretty high already. This is on top of it, 40%. And obviously, we don't work alone. We work with our customers. I mean, we're very proud of working with one of our customers here. I'm showing you Boston Dynamics, where we combine our hardware or software with the phenomenal robotics platform they have to make sure that robots and humans can cooperate in a productive manner in the factory floor. Now, healthcare, and this is where safety and precision are super important. They define outcomes. Already in 2025, diagnostics and lab robots increased sales by 610%. This is not a trend. This is a signal that the healthcare says physical AI, if deployed responsibly, will save lives. And we're doing, and very proud of the engagement that we have with Healthcare, where they're actually deploying intelligent systems in anesthesia, where precision safety really, really makes a difference. And their products, NXP is at the core of it. So now this is the time that I always do when I come to Taiwan, because it's truly amazing, the ecosystem in Taiwan. Because we know we can't do this alone. NXP, without our customer, our partners, we're too small. The reason NXP punches above our weight is because of you. We can't do this on innovation alone. We do it with collaboration, with co-creation, and delivering the market. The people here in this list are not just customers and partners, are the lifeblood, what makes physical AI deployment into the market and makes it a reality. So for the companies who are here and the companies in this list, thank you, because we do this together. So I started with Messi, and I'm going to end up there too. You know what? What makes this player so amazing and so elite, and this body does these incredible things, it's not the things that you see. It's all the things that you don't see. Put aside, right, his incredible commitment to his craft, but all the things that you see. The invisible architecture in his body that we call the neural axis, which is the same for physical AI and robotics, just engineered by men. We started with a question: what is elite for a machine? What is elite for a machine? And I think we answered that question. Elite for a machine is a machine that executes reliably in high performance in the real world, under real conditions, and when things go wrong, this machine keeps assets and people safe. Machines and systems, these elite systems have three non-negotiables: low latency, low power, and high level of trust. Remember, you don't scale physical AI with intelligence alone. You scale it by placing intelligence at the right place, using the neural axis as a backbone. So for the push of physical AI into the market, we at NXP, we're ready. Thank you.